All right, now it's often been alluded to, but never really discussed on the show until today.
What?
Nikki Noya and Juan Albarrán from the Jet Set and Espanol both have a problem, and now we're going to finally get them the help that they need. Joining us is Mike Mandel. He's a lawyer who went viral on social media for his video explaining what you can and can't steal from hotels. And we're also going to be asking him about airlines too. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I think we've lost Nikki. She's already laughing because she had no idea that you were joining us today. So before we get into Nikki and Juan's, let's call it hobby, what made you decide to make a video like this in the first place?
Well, I've been making content for now over 2.5 years, all about the law. We're at probably 1,000 videos now. And I was actually traveling to Las Vegas to give a speech. And, things are more restricted as to what I can film. So I was sitting in the hotel room thinking about what people would find interesting and came up with the idea of what you can and can't steal from your hotel room.
Well, there is a lot of people who find that interesting. One of them being someone sitting right next to me. So what can you legally steal from a hotel?
Yeah, just tell me, just so I can tell a friend.
Yeah. Nikki, you're very interested in this. So anything complimentary you can quote unquote steal from a hotel, you can take from a hotel room. So things like soap, shampoo, lotion, and anything that won't be reused. So even slippers, since they throw them away, you can take.
Thank you, Robert. I'm fine. I'm still in the legal category.
So are there penalties for stealing items that you shouldn't be taking?
Yeah, so items that you shouldn't be taking are ones that can be reused, like sheets, robes, obviously like hangers and electronics. Believe it or not, people do try to take TVs and other random furniture.
I'm sure they do. People are crazy.
If that occurs, the most likely scenario is you'll get billed for it, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing that could happen. Technically, anything that you're taking like that is theft. So it's up to the hotel if they want to report that and file criminal charges, and then it would be up to the police department and depending on what country and their legal system.
Listen.
To be fair, I've never witnessed either of them actually steal anything that wasn't for the taking from a hotel. But from airlines, well, that's a completely different story. Let's say someone, and I'm not going to name names, were to take a glass from first class. Is that considered stealing? Is that allowed?
For a friend.
Again, it technically would be. So, anything that can be reused, they're going to be reusing those glasses unless we're talking about a plastic glass, or the blankets as well. They'll be reusing. So technically,
I have never taken a blanket from an airline, Robert.
We're talking about someone else here as well. Okay, so is it also considered stealing if you're saying you're collecting it?
So giving it a different name is not going to change the scenario. But I would say that, whether you're actually pursued for these things is a whole different story. It would be petty theft. Most prosecutors don't want to deal with petty theft. I think one thing I wanted to mention to you about the hotels as well is that if they say, if you take these towels, you'll be charged X amount of money, technically there's an argument to say that that's not stealing because they've made an agreement with you that if you take it, you'll pay for it.
Exactly.
So you didn't have any criminal intent of stealing.
Exactly.
So that's one thing to keep in mind.
Robert. Okay, so Mike, where can we go to follow you and more insight and information? Because obviously I need all of the inside information.
Yeah, on social media, it's @LawByMike. That's for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook. We actually just put out a video about the Mile High Club and whether that is legal, so you might want to check that out too. That's where you can find me.
That's a whole topic for a whole other show. Thank you so much for being here today, Mike. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.
And I'm keeping the towel.